Let's talk coffee and race fuel.
Welcome to episode 3.
So, Mish, I want to know what makes a great coffee. There's so many different types of blends, from an espresso to a flat white to a cappuccino. Why so many different blends?
Yeah, cool. So coffee can be complicated, I've learned that.
Yeah.
But personally, I love a flat white. And to answer your question, we have Spear, who's our fantastic barista at Pitstop Brew. So Spear, maybe you can answer Commission's question better than I would.
Please.
Okay, to answer your question, we start off with every great coffee. It's our coffee bean roast. It's what every coffee starts off from a light, medium, and dark beans. But our customers prefer our medium beans. So this is it. And to go back to your other question about the difference between a cappuccino and a flat white, a cappuccino has less milk, more foam in it, including foam. A flat white has more of an espresso, less foam, more milk in it.
Okay, so that's great. So my understanding is that the intensity of the bean and how it's roasted determines the strength of caffeine. And the caffeine is actually what gives the coffee or gives me energy or any individual or fuels the coffee. So in context, your different blends of coffee determines how strong the coffee is and obviously the caffeine content. So your cappuccino would be much lighter than your flat white.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, babe.
No problem. But let me show you what the difference about it, so you can also see what's happening in my office.
Please show us.
Okay, Commission, this is the flat white
Okay.
and this is the cappuccino.
Okay, so I can see the difference in terms of the coffee content. One is obviously more than the other. What
Yes.
else do you add to it?
So what else do I add is milk.
Okay.
I've already frothed my milk,
Okay.
so now I'll show you the difference.
Okay, so that's my cappuccino. That's what I love.
Yes, that's what you love.
Okay, and that's
The flat white.
Michelle's all-time daily favorite.
Yes.
Okay, so my understanding is that the flat white has more caffeine
Yes.
than the cappuccino,
Yes.
which means that she's running a much higher boost than me.
Yes.
Every morning. Now I
Yes,
get it.
it is.
Now I get it, guys. Now I get it. More caffeine, higher boost. Thanks, Pear, for the great coffee. So now I know why you're running high boost with all the extra caffeine.
Yes, and only available at the Pitstop Brew all the time.
It's great to hear.
So Kumesh, tell me what makes a great performance fuel.
Let me show you. Follow me.
Here we go. So Kumesh, you have Dexter's lab here.
Yes.
And can you tell me more about your cleaner fuels?
Okay, so that's quite a good question. With fast fuels, as you know, we're all about clean fuels, and clean fuels to us is really important. It ultimately reductions in emissions, and it's quite big globally, particularly in the motorsport scene. So when we look at clean fuels, we look at the components that make up a clean fuel, very similar to the coffee. And in our instance, we look at ethanol as a base. So as you have your different various medium and light roasts, we have different concentrates of ethanol.
Okay.
At fast fuels, we use a synthetic grade of ethanol, which is 99.9%. It has no denaturants like the commonly sold products like your E95, etc.
And not for human consumption.
Definitely not for human consumption, okay? So we use a proper solid base, and we obviously test our ethanol for percentages in-house as well as density. That now allows us to manufacture a finished product. So when we look at flex fuels, and I'm going to say globally, as well as what customers require, the products range from an E30 to an E50 to an E85, but ultimately it is the percentage of ethanol to the percentage of petrol that's being used, okay?
Okay, so similarly to espresso always being your base ingredient for the coffees?
Exactly the same. So as you know, your flat white offers you more boost. If you want more boost in fuel, you're going to have to use a higher concentrate of ethanol.
Okay.
So your E85, which would be, or you can run a E100, which is straight ethanol. Those applications will require the vehicle to be set up correctly. So you got to have the right size injectors, okay, to make sure you don't max out your injector duty cycles. You've got to have the right high flow fuel pumps to ensure that you supply more ethanol into the engine and your vehicle is tuned correctly. So on your higher applications, you got to make sure that the vehicle is set up. Now when we talk about street cars, and for a consumer out there who wants to use ethanol, anybody can drink a cappuccino. And that's where we make sure that your grades from E30 to E20 to E10 can be used in vehicles that are recommended for ethanol. Okay, so a lot of the newer European vehicles have an indication on their fuel tank E20, E30, etc. That is the concentration of ethanol. Now, at Fast Fuels, what we look at is we supply a base as well as we do supply a finished flex fuel product. Okay, the difference with us mixing your flex fuels is the consistency at all times. What we do very important is when we combine the two. So for example, if it's a cappuccino, 30% of ethanol, 70% of petrol, right? We would put in additional additives to protect your engine. And also to allow phase separation, because as we know, ethanol is hygroscopic. So with me here, I've just got a few additives to show you. We have an upper loop, okay, which some consumers don't add because they just combine that. This is very important. It helps protect your combustion chamber, as well as especially with fuel dilution, your fuel and your oil mixes. We have to make sure that the fuel is not acidic because it can break your oil down. Breaking your oil down, reduction in viscosity, damage with engines. Okay, so we make sure that we add in an upper loop, and one of the components for us, which is also very important, is a valve seat recession additive. It's to protect your intake valves. Okay, so it's a detergent, also to protect your fueling system, and this also allows any water. For example, if you store your ethanol incorrectly, if there's moisture, by any given chance, that allows it to emulsify and allows the ethanol to mix with the fuel. As you know, if water gets in contact with your ethanol, it can separate from the petrol, and that's where people start having misses, etc. So in short, the ratio is very similar to the coffee that determine the flex fuel content.
Okay, so from my understanding, it's very simple to just mix petrol and ethanol and to get an ethanol blend. However, what's important is to have your other ingredients here, which are additives, because it's not only going to give you the boost,
Correct.
It's going to protect every other part in your vehicle.
Correct, and also make sure that the fuel itself is stable, does not separate, and it protects you against all elements. So in short, that is our flex fuels.
Okay, so yes, once again, I can see that the importance of sourcing good quality ingredients for your blends are very important to you, as well as the vehicles and the end user.
That's good.
Yeah, so I think I have a lot more understanding of your blends on the ethanol now, and hopefully everyone out there does as well. So thank you so much for answering my question.
You're welcome. If you guys are not sure of what flex fuels or what ratios to use, once again, we're here to support you technically. We can work with your tuner. We don't just supply fuels, we are a technical fueling partner, and we'll be glad to assist you and make a recommendation. Okay, so thank you guys very much. And
Thank you.
we look forward to the next episode of Coffee and Fuel.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.